Now this is the first step, how to give an action to this button to do something with the fields or any control there on the screen itself. But we may set this 1, 2, 3 from the back end. From the back end, 3TP supporting writing code in either VB.NET or C#. That means here in the system I can go to the version code, and as we note here that JavaScript, CSS, workflow, everything is here is related to the current process being designed. If we go to the version code, here we can write the default code from the system, which writes a back-end code which is executed on the server side. So the signature of all of the functions is written automatically here. So in our case we need one function here which is on field value changed, and we can remove other fields from here. On field value changed, it takes parameters. One of them is the primary parameter, the opt data process, the current process we are working on. So here we can tell the system opt data process dot field, the name of the field, which is field hours, underscore 0 dot field value equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we can compile our code to make sure in case of any syntax error. When we take the name of this function and we go back to the version designer, to this button, and we go back to the onClick function, we can delete the previous code here and we only put add and the name of the function in the back end, and we set the properties. If we go to the version viewer and we click submit, we'll find the form post back, and here ours is written like this. So we can attach a function at the back end with any of the controls on the form, and here we can create a very fantastic process. In this case, after we do that, let's say we need to save the data into the database, hours and date. From our side, what we can do the following. We can create a table into the database to hold these details. For example, we'll go to settings, new template. A new template means that we will create a table into the database. The table name is time sheet, and here we need this name of this template. We'll put it here, and here we'll select on which server this template or table will be created. Here a very important feature of 3TP, which is we can split the tables of the platform into a different databases, either SQL or Oracle or mixed of both. So here we'll say we'll create this template into this server, and here we'll tell the system for this template or table automatically create a class that holds all the functions to integrate with the database itself. So we can write that like VB or C#, but we will not write it ourselves. 3TP will take care about that. For example, we'll tell the system it's VB, and here we'll tell the names of the columns. For example, column hours, the data type, for example, is double, and a multi-value, which is column date, and let's say that it's a string or date or any type of these. And here for this one it's the longest 10, and here we need a primary key for this table. So for the primary key of the table, it may be as any of the fields of this table, or it can be something else. So let's say we need these two columns right now, and we need this one to be primary key. In this case, we'll find that here we find generate insert, generate update, delete, get single, get all, get top, get count, is exist, generate validation, and create table. Here we'll tell the system generate this class. We'll find the system generated the class, and this is the architecture of the 3TP, that there's a table in the database, there's a class on top of that, and then we have the version itself. The system will write all the code instead of us, and at this point we tell the system we can compile the template class. Here we'll find invalid template code. Here keyword is not valid as an identifier, line 17. For line 17, here dim insert, schema, timesheet, see hours, see date, see hours, see date, and here we find that some variables are incorrect to be added here, so we may change the name of these fields. For example, timesheet, hours, and timesheet date, and we can generate the class again and compile. We'll find no errors at all. So the code itself gives indication about the naming of the columns of the database itself. And in this case, we have the name of this template, also the name of the columns created. And here we'll tell the system this table should be created or not. What that mean? Creating a table may be from 3TP we will link to a table in a different database, for example core banking system or legacy system. In this case we define the structure of that table here in 3TP, but we do not create that table because it's already created on its system. And here we create this template. Now for this template, which is a table in a database, in case we need to browse that table, what we do, we go here to the menu and we'll find data source designer. In data source designer we'll find that table which name is timesheet here, and we drag and drop it here and tell the system that we need to see the data inside this table. So here we generate an SQL and select the server, which is server 1, and we execute, and here we'll find that table is empty, and we'll keep this here. Now we'll go back to our version in order to insert these details into that table directly. As easy, we go to the version code, and here we tell the system the following: we created this table which is timesheet, so we tell the system create an object from this table. So we go here